dugsiga boardingka iyo maalinlaha ah ee Amano Boarding and Day School.
Hello, GCSE candidates or level. Welcome back to our class. Last week I taught about transactional writings, and I was very specific into looking at speech writing. Today I want us to continue writing skill as a topic, but I want to deal with the particular element that each and every student needs to better themselves. That is vocabulary, or what you call lexical ability. You know, in classes I've been talking about improving the vocabulary range in your work. So today I want us to focus on that and see how we can do that one in our writing. So the objective of the lesson today, I want to show you how to expand your vocabulary ability, then be in a position to use the vocabulary appropriately in your writing. You know, students write a lot, but sometimes you feel like they have limited vocabulary in expressing their point of view, either in transactional writing or creative writing. But how can we do this? So join me today and see how you can expand your vocabulary, as well as how you can use your vocabulary more precisely in your writing. So here, vocabulary will help make your writing interesting and lively. But when the range of the vocabulary that you're using, a wide range of vocabulary, you know, not just he, it, she, all that, but you to need wide range of vocabulary depending on the context or the topic that you're writing about. So you have to be in a position to use specific words to convey your meaning. So this one will make your writing very lively. Okay, so let's move here. So how do you expand your vocabulary? Maybe you've been asking yourself this. So anyone who is watching this or this particular lesson, the more words you know, the more clearly and powerfully you will think, and the more ideas you will have to invite into your mind. So these are the words of Wilfred Funk. So he said that the more words you know, the more clearly and powerfully you will think. You know, I was talking about creative writing last week, and thereafter when you're writing a speech. But how do you do that one successfully if you have limited vocabulary? It will be quite difficult. So you may have ideas, but bringing them into writing might prove to be difficult. So let's see how you can expand that. So one of the best ways that's worked with people over time is keeping a journal. So when you keep a journal that you record date and time, every day you come across a new word, you jot it down in your journal, then check the meaning and see how it's used in the sentences. Then the aim is that when you get those new vocabulary, then you need to use it as soon as possible to establish a meaning in your mind. No, writing or keeping a journal won't help you if you can't use these particular words. So what I want you to do is that once you get that particular word, you have to try to use it and in a sentence. So this one will make it to stick into your mind. So how do you discover these particular new words? I've just listed maybe some 5 ways that we can use. The first one, by reading widely and including challenging reading material. When you get different materials, maybe books, sometimes blogs like that, or using a dictionary or thesaurus. So, or sometimes you listen to talks, radio show, or even news program on television. Or sometimes by just simply listening to your teacher, then you see, oh, the teachers used this particular new word, let me jot it down so that I see the meaning later. Okay, or using apps that can offer you the word of the day. There are so many applications over the internet that gives you a word on a daily basis. So when you get a new word, then you try to figure it out. What does it mean? Through maybe searching for meaning or looking up for meaning in the dictionary, and looking at thesaurus, you get other words that can be used in place of that particular word. So now once you have what matters a lot there is now using this vocabulary. I want you to look at the words that I brought in. So there's bad, awful, horrid, horrendous, ghastly, destructive. So everybody will just be using simple one. Oh, this is a bad boy. No. Why? Oh, no. Oh, he is destructive. So you see, you're moving further. So start with simple words and keep on moving and moving. So what matters a lot is this. I want precise use of words in your writing. So a way that you choose a word to maybe to show that particular action of the character. So I want you to look at this. He walked into the room and said, "This is what I was waiting for." So you see here, you choosing the word there, walked and said, they can give you just simple meaning, okay? But sometimes you can think about, what of if I would have used other words that would have made much greater impact? So look at this. Okay, so he strolled into the room and muttered, "This is what I was waiting for." So you can see what changed here. So I've used a different word altogether. Strolled, muttered. He marched into the room and backed. So you see, he marched into the room and this is what I've been waiting for. So you see the effect is different, totally different from the previous slide that I've used. He shuffled into the room and sobbed, "Oh, this is what I've been waiting for." So you definitely, as the reader, then definitely you feel even the feeling and the tone that is created in the sentence is totally different. So that's what I want you to use. Just you have to pick a word and be precise according to what you want your readers to see. Good? So let's move to the next one. Look at, if you have this particular word nice, you can generate other words which are much more precise. For example, marvelous, pleasant, wonderful, etc. But this is what I want you to see. These are overused words. You have to make sure that your choice of word is unique. So when you use these other words that are not overused on a daily basis, that makes your writing unique. So let's move on and see. I have a couple of words here. I want you to look. For example, if you have good, you can use superb, fantastic, excellent. Those are other words. Nice, I think I've said that already. Then very, extremely, highly, deeply. Oh, I'm deeply concerned. Okay, happy, cheerful, pleased, ecstatic, overjoyed, I'm elated. Oh, I'm thrilled. Okay, big, huge, gigantic, enormous, etc. Then hate. Oh, I despised, I detest this, I loathe this, I condemn this. You see, I said, shouted, bellowed, whispered, mumbled, grunted, sang, exclaimed, etc. Walked, strutted, bounded, sprinted, tried. So when you choose other words that are not used in everyday life, it makes your writing very unique. So let's move on and see how can you now use vocabulary for effect. Okay, so when vocabulary is what can be used to influence the way the reader feels about the scene or the topic. Okay, so when you select the words, then how the tone is going to be created, and that there's a way they're going to feel about it. I have some examples here. If you can look at this picture, okay, so this is at a night, it looks like a graveyard, but let's see what we can have there. See, in a ghostly story, you might select vocabulary to create a sense of fear. So if I wanted to create a sense of fear in my readers, so look at this. The bird swooped dangerously close to the head as the haunting outline of the moon glared over the silhouette of the gravestone. The stench of decay hung in the damp night air as a warning to those who dared to enter. You see, there's a feeling of fear that you're trying to create. So this is some kind of a danger and some kind of a sinister tone. So that is what is being created. So let's move forward and see the next one. Wow, you can see this piece. Oh, these are a wedding. So out of in a municipal building yard. So you can see doves soared overhead as we bustled from the municipal building doorway. The clouds parted for the beaming sun that warmed the backs of the guests. The confetti and the scent of perfumed flowers filled the air. Laughter twirled like ribbons around the bride and the groom. So look at the meaning that it creates. So that particular lively tone. So I want just to look at some words here. So for example, if the setting is of that of a city, you can use happy. Then you can say a bright sun glinted from the skyscraper's window. Okay. If you're in a jungle and you want to create the mood of sadness, the baboons' plaintive cries pierced our earths. In a desert and you're determined and you want to keep on, the sun burned and the dust stung, but we marched on regardless. So if you think about your setting and the mood that you want to create, then you will look at which particular words you're going to select. So let's move on. I want to give you another thing that you need to remember. So as we wind up, so get into the habit of using thesaurus. So thesaurus, rather than a dictionary will only give you the meaning of a word. But if you have to see other words that you can use for the same word, use a thesaurus. Then experiment them. I want to insist on this. Make sure you try them out. Experiment what different words in your writing. If you've used this word in a sentence, when you're writing, make sure you experiment. Then keep a journal to collect new words. So every day keep on collecting new words. Then list or a mind map your key vocabulary choice at the planning stage. So when you're planning your writing, this particular stage is very important. So you can keep those particular words. Then read back over your work to check. So this is the proofreading. Then make sure that when you're checking that accidentally, if the word is repeated, you can replace it by a new word. So that's what I wanted you to go. So as you go out there in your writing, think about the impact that wide range of vocabulary will create in your work. So visit Amano online classes and attempt the quiz that I will load at the end of this teaching. Otherwise, stay safe.